Maths is all about choosing the skill that works easiest for you at the time you need it. You ever wondered how to times a decimal with a fraction? This is actually a question that could come up in your exam. So do you know what? Let's get through this intro and straight into the explanation. Hey mathematicians, it's T here, your YouTube maths tutor. How's everyone feeling this week? I hope you are good. You know when I said I weren't going to get sick again? The moment I stopped drinking my teas, I got sick. But I drank it straight after and I got better really quickly within this week. So that's been my week. This week's topic is converting your decimals to fractions and applying them to a multiplication question. So today you are technically timesing fractions and decimals together. All you need to know is literally the difference between a fraction and a decimal and understand that they are equivalent to each other. You'll see some examples of this in my explanation. So with that all out the way, let's get into it. So before we start timesing these decimals and fractions, or just even converting decimals to fractions, we need to know what equivalent means. Now, equivalent means that they are equal. They are the same thing, but written in different ways. For example, 5/10 is equal to a half. As you can see down here, there are two identical shapes that I've drawn. One has 10 parts with 5 bits shaded in, and the other one has 2 parts with 1 bit shaded in. But can you see the amount that's shaded in on both sides are exactly the same? Another thing we could have is a percentage. 50% is also equal to a half. It's also equal to 0.5. They are all the same. They are just written in different ways, hence they are equivalent. Because they're not identical, so they are equivalent. Alright, so before we start timesing the decimals and the fractions, let's make sure we can convert decimals to fractions. You can always pause the video at any time and practice, because I'm going to go through them so you'll know that you got them correct, okay? But yeah, let's get into it. So, 0.25 is one of those staple ones that you need to know is a fraction. You need to know that 0.25 is equal to a quarter. But if you couldn't remember that 0.25 is equal to a quarter, that's okay, as long as you know how to convert that decimal into a fraction, which I'm about to show you. Remember in rounding, I say 1dp, 2dp, but it's also 1/10th, 100th, 1,000th. This is the time where you use 100 to 10,000. So in this column here, I'm just going to quickly draw. This is your tenths column, so something over 10. I do question mark over 10. This next one here is question mark over 100. And if we had another one, it would be question mark over 1,000. And then we'll just keep going, timesing by 10 on the denominator. But right now, we only need to know the hundredths section. Because it's question mark over 100, it's going to be the entire decimal after the 0 over 100. Which 22 and 5, which is technically 25 over 100. Now, we're just going to simplify the fraction. And that gives us 1 over 4. There's always the quarter. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so you've got 0.48 and we need that as a fraction. It's not one of those staple ones, so let's just figure it out using the method I just shown you. So we're going to make our little lines here. This is question mark over 10. This is question mark over 100. So we are in our hundreds section. So it's going to be 48 over 100. And then we're just going to simplify this fraction. So our equivalent fraction in its simplest form is 12 over 25, yeah? Let's look at the last one then. We're going to draw the same lines. We're only drawing one set of lines this time. Question mark over 10. There's no other numbers, so we're going to put 9 over 10. And that is the simplified answer. So that is it. I hope this makes sense. Now let's get into timesing the decimals by the fractions. Alright, so here's 2 examples of timesing a fraction and a decimals question, and I'll show you how we'll do it. So we've got 2/5 times by 0.3. So we've got 2/5, that stays the same. And we're going to times it by, I'm going to draw my little lines, this question mark over 10. That's it, that's all we've got. So to write as a fraction, we've got 3 over 10. And now, if you see my multiplying fractions video, this is light work for you. If you haven't, go check it out. It's 6 over 50. Yeah? And we can also simplify that to 3 over 25. So that is the answer to the first one. All right, let's look at the next one then. Got 1.4 times 3 over 7. Now we're going to keep 3 over 7. We're going to convert the 1.4. Now it looks a little bit different because there's no 0 point, but it's the same principle. So let's do our little lines. It's question mark over 10. The furthest column we have is question mark over 10. And then we literally just write everything else, except for we just don't put the decimal in there. So it's 14 over 10. And it being times. And then we just do it like that. So 14 times 3 is 42. And 10 times 7 is 70. They're both in the 7 times table. So let's just simplify that to 6 over 10. And that's literally it. Alright, go on. Let's check out some practice. Here's some examples for you to try. Feel free to pause the video and have a go at them. And then resume the video when you're ready for the answers. Alright, welcome back. Let's get straight into it. So, first question is 0.7 times 3/5. First things first, we're going to keep the fraction there, the 3/5. It's being times, and now let's convert that decimal into the fraction. So we find out the furthest decimal place. So it's question mark over 10. So we're going to have 7 over 10. And now we times them out, which is 21 over 50. And that is the answer to the first one. Alright, let's look at the second one. The second one is 0.35 times 3/10. So what we're going to do first is keep that fraction there so that we don't feel like we need to convert it into anything. And now we're going to figure out our denominator. So it's going to be 35 over 100. And now we times them out. So 35 times 3 is 105. And then 100 times 10 is place value. It is 1,000. You can leave the answer like that, or we can convert it to its equivalent decimal, because 105 over 1,000 is the same as saying 105 divided by 1,000, which is place value, which is another video I've made, so go check it out, which is 0.105. Yeah, so these two are equivalent. So either or is correct. And there we go. So that was converting decimals to fractions and how you might use them in other questions. Well done. Thank you for watching. If you found anything useful in this video, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See you. Thank you for watching.